Hello everyone and welcome to another segment of Dan's Rants. Today I'm going to be complaining about the Arriva bus service. Oh yes, I've had many requests on Facebook to rant about this, and you know what, who can blame them? Because the Arriva bus service is just out of control. I mean, there was once a time they were fairly reliable, happy bus drivers. We always used to get on the double decker and ride up top. Look at it now. We've got lateness, we've got grumpy bus drivers, we've got fares that are outrageous. And that's just the door sales. I mean, when you book online, they're supposed to be cheaper, but I'll go into all that a bit later. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is the grumpy bus drivers. Now, I don't know about you, but if I get offered a job and I start that job, I'll always be enthusiastic and happy because I've got that job. Oh no, not these bus drivers. Some of them are just so damn miserable. You say thank you. I mean, I was on the bus the other day, and I said thank you to this bus driver. You know what the reply I got? It was just a simple I mean, what the hell? That's how I was saying thank you. You should be grateful. But that's the first thing that annoys me. They're slightly grumpy. And there's this one bus driver who really grinds my gears. When he takes your bus, when you show your bus pass to get on the bus for free, because, well, it's not free, you pay an outrageous amount of money. I think it's 230 quid or something for a term. Yep, robbing bastards, that's all I've got to say about them. So anyway, you show this guy your bus pass like that, and most bus drivers will just go, yep, come on board. Well, no, not this one. No, this one, he wears a hat, not quite as cool as mine, undeniably, but he gets this hat, he grabs your card off you, he takes it in, has a good examine of it, and then he'll look at you to identify and make sure that it's actually you. And he takes an awful long time about this as well, and then he'll go, right, miserable arsehole. I mean, it's people like that. I can't understand why they're even employed. But that's the first thing I've got to rant about the aggressive bus drivers. Second thing is the fares. There's once time I can remember getting on a bus for £5 return to Darlington. It's now £6.70. I mean, what's all that about? Eventually it's going to get to a point where people are going to start riding their bikes to Darlington. Yeah, I know. I mean, £6.70 is just completely unreasonable. I think it's actually cheaper to get to Durham, which actually seems to me further out the way. I did ask a local resident what he thought about this, and he said, oh, it's because Darlington's the most sought after route. That's why they charge so much. They shouldn't be allowed to charge that much. And then me, as a town councillor, gets lots of complaints from the general public. Can't you sort your bus service out? One thing I need to make clear is the bus service does not actually belong to any council property. It's a private company. Because I assure you, if it wasn't a council control, we'd be doing something about it to make it a better service. That's the first thing, grumpy bus drivers. The next thing is the lateness of the buses. They all specify on them little board things what time they're going to be, and they say 1:15, 10 past, and sometimes they're ridiculous, like 57 minutes past or something like that. It's supposed to be dead accurate. But are they hell accurate? I mean, they're either 5 minutes late, they're very, very rarely ever on time. What really annoys me though is when they're early. I mean, a couple of weeks back, I was running a bit late, but I managed to get to the bus stop 1 minute before it was scheduled to arrive, and this bus driver was sat there. I got to the bus stop, he shut his doors, he looked at me, he waved at me, the arsehole, and then drove away. I mean, who the hell does he think he is? It's people like that just, I can't even be bothered with them. So that's another thing. The next thing that annoys me about these Arriva buses is when you finally do get them, after the lateness and after the verbal abuse of the bus drivers, and you then have to sit through, if it's freezing cold, you have to sit on a freezing cold bus. If it's boiling hot, they then turn the heaters on, but they don't do that when it's cold. Oh no, because that's not good enough for them. I mean, where's the logic behind them? I mean, even turning the heat on in the hot weather, it's not exactly a case of saving money, is it? So, nah, I don't understand about that. But there's just something wrong about that Arriva bus service. And one day, I'm sure we'll establish a proper service that works for the people. I mean, there was once a time when them Arriva all-day passes, well, I think it was something like 6:30 or something like that. And that to me seems reasonable if you're going to Durham or if you're going to Newcastle or something like that, because it's sort of worth it. But now it's £7.30, Out of control prices, aggressive bus drivers, the times are all wrong. You know, I could probably go on for another couple of hours about all the things that are wrong with these bus drivers and the Arriva bus service. But unfortunately I don't want to sit and bore you all for much longer with it. So yes, that concludes my segment on Arriva. Put me in charge of Arriva, I'll sort them out. I mean, obviously there's traffic and things and that's going to knock times off. We understand that as the public. What we don't understand is the outrageous service we get while we're on there. I mean, I don't know. They take services off, which are needed. I remember the good old 7A bus, which used to take an extensive route around my area, and it used to be very useful. And more so the 5 and the 5A. They take different routes now, as opposed to the ones that used to take. But these different routes are cutting people out. My nana, and who's asked me to complain about this very bit now, used to take the 5 and the 5A. Now she can't. She can only take the 5, which runs every hour. No bus service running every hour. That's a Sunday service. That's not good enough for a weekday. But I hope a member of the Arriva bus team reads this, because listens to this rant, because I think it's something they really need to take into consideration, but something they're not going to take into consideration. So yes, that concludes my rant on Arriva buses. And if you do know anyone on Arriva, send them this video, tell them to send it to HQ, and hopefully we'll get something done about the monstrous service that we've been given. Thanks a lot and stay tuned for another episode.